Okay, so let us start. Yesterday, we created an application with which we were inputting data. Then after that, we calculated simple interest and have shown the result on the screen. So here, sometimes we were getting exceptions, runtime errors we got, whenever we try to divide 10 with 0. This exception is called as unchecked exception. This can take place, whenever application is running. In the runtime, this can happen. But when you take a method here, the br.read line, if you don't put in the try catch block, compiler cannot be compiling. This concept is called as a checked exception concept. This is nothing but checked exception, because if you look at the br.read line, what happens if you don't put that in the try catch block? It throws here exception. So it cannot be compiling code first of all. This is called as here checked exception. The other one is here unchecked exception. This is. But in the runtime, you can get errors. And one more type of problem is going to be fatal errors like not enough memory in the stack, not enough memory in the heap, and other problems which are beyond the control of the programmer. Particularly beyond the control of Java programmer, they happen. So the exceptions can be occurring in these three ways. Either checked exception or unchecked exception, or it can be error. So yesterday we saw those. And we were discussing yesterday about the wrapper classes. We had wrapper classes. So with that, what we do, we can convert the string into appropriate data type, and sometimes we need to convert primitive data to object. We need to convert sometimes primitive data into object. Int a you have. You need to convert this a into int a equal to 10 you have here. This one is what? Primitive data. This suppose you want to convert to object. How do we convert? In such cases, we require an integer. With the help of this, we can do integer is a class. Integer I equal to, you can write as new integer. Write it as here new integer. So with this, we can convert an integer value into an object. We write here integer I equal to new integer a. When you write like this, we create here an I, nothing but actually integer object. It's not primitive data. Now it's called as reference data. Like this we can create. So therefore, with the help of this, you can convert primitive data to object data. Okay. Now sometimes what happens, we need to convert the object data to now primitive value. In such cases, we use this mechanism. Like simply you can write it a equal to I dot here int value. With the help of this, we can be converting it. So using int value, float value, we can convert into primitive data. So like this, from primitive to object and object to primitive, you can convert. Whenever you convert data from primitive to object, that's called as boxing, and whenever you convert from object to primitive, it's called as unboxing. The two concepts we have, one is converting from integer to, converting from primitive to object, that's called as boxing concept, and whenever you want to convert from object to primitive data, it's called as unboxing. So such features you have in the wrapper classes. And apart from that, you can convert the string into appropriate data type, like int parse, similarly float parse, parse float, parse int, parse double, parse char, like that you can be doing. So those you can do with the help of the wrapper classes. We have character wrapper class, integer wrapper class, float wrapper class, double wrapper class, then boolean wrapper class, character wrapper class. Like this we have here wrapper classes. With the help of that, you can perform different types of operations like converting string into appropriate type of data, and other thing is converting primitive data to object data or object data to primitive data. You can do with the help of the wrapper classes. They are part of the system.util. In the system.util they are available, so with them we can perform the required operations. So they are called as wrapper classes. So using wrapper classes, as I said just now, strings can be converted to appropriate data types. Similarly, primitive value you can convert to object and object can be converted to primitive. Those you can do with the help of the wrapper classes. We predefined wrapper classes, say a character wrapper class, then boolean wrapper class, then byte wrapper class, short wrapper class, integer wrapper class, long wrapper class, then float wrapper class and double wrapper class. Like that we have. So with the help of wrapper classes, string can be converted to appropriate data, or a primitive data can be converted to object, or object can be converted to primitive. So like that we use wrapper classes. Yesterday we saw few examples of them. Even you can do with the others. Same thing you can do with the others. Okay. So today further let us look into other aspects of the, here other operators. Let us try to see. We are trying to see the other operators in this. Okay, here what I do, another application I make. This is a Java project. Then third application I put it. Third project I want to set like this year. Click on next year. Then here I would like to put student result. Okay, I want to make here a student result project. Write it as student result. So here it contains a main method. Here I would like to input some data from keyboard, that is student name followed by input marks, and here using the logical as well as relational operators and with conditional operator I want to find out result. I don't like to use any if condition, but here with the help of the logical operators, relational operators as well as with the help of the conditional operator I want to find out result. As we know, in Java we have a conditional operator called as question mark operator. We have a question mark operator. So using this you can put a condition. Then followed by here you can put a question mark. If that is returning a true value, you can here see action 1, you can put like this, else action 2. Like this you can do it. So condition followed by question mark, action 1, action 2, or instead of putting action here, result 1, result 2, I can put this way. Result 1, and here this can be result 2. So either result 1 or result 2 can be returned with the help of this. So using a conditional operator I want to do, at the same time I try to use here greater than or equal to and logical operator, relational operator, and other one is logical AND operator. With the help of this we can do. We have three logical operators: logical AND, logical OR, logical NOT. Logical AND is going to be whenever you combine more than one expression with logical AND operator, the newly formed expression can return a true value when all the combining expressions are returning true. When all the combining expressions are returning true value, the newly formed expression can be returning true value. But if any one of them is returning false value, the newly formed expression can be returning false value there. With the help of the logical AND operator, you can combine more than one expression. So the newly formed expression can be returning true value when all the combining expressions are returning true value, otherwise it returns a false value. Okay, so with the help of the relational operators and with the help of logical operators, I want to do this. We know that we have different relational operators like greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, and other one is less than or equal to. So these establish a relation between the two sides of the application. Suppose you write a equal to 10, then b equal to here 20. Now when you try to put here the relation between the both sides of the expression, a greater than b, that can be returning a true value or false value depending on the values there. If a is 10, b is 20, definitely that is going to be false. But when a is 20, b is 10, in such cases that can be true value. So like this, you can be using them. You can use like this actually relational operators to find out the value there, whether the first, whether the first term is when compared with other term, whether it's greater than or less than, you can find out. Similarly, a greater than b we take, and you may write like this: b equal to 30. You write here some b equal to 30. So here what you write, and b greater than 30, b greater than c, a greater than c you write here. So in such cases, this is what exactly it is called as a logical AND operation. Here first expression, if a greater than b is true and a greater than c is true, in such cases it is called as it's going to be true value, otherwise it can be false value. So this is what a compound expression we can say, or newly formed expression. This can be returning a true value when both this one and this one are returning true, but any one of them is false or all are false, in that case is going to be false. Like that we use the logical AND operator. In the case of logical operator, OR operator, it's like this: a greater than b, then followed by or here, or 2 times, followed by a greater than c. In such cases, if either a is greater than b or a is greater than c, that can be written in true value. Or when a is greater than b and a is greater than c, in such case also it returns true value. But when a greater than b is false, and when a greater than c is also false, in such cases that can be returning a false value. Like this, this is called as here logical OR operation. The above one is logical AND operation. And next thing what we write, a not equal to say b. When you put here a not equal to b, so when a and b are not equal, that can be returning true value, otherwise it can be returning a false value. Like that, whenever they are equal, it returns false value. So like that you can use NOT operator. NOT operator for negating we can use. So like this we can be using here the relational as well as logical operators to form the expression. Okay, here what I do, I input data from keyboard for student name and for 3 subjects. In each and every subject, when student is getting more than 40 marks, in such cases the result is going to be true, otherwise result is going to be false. And here I use one more type of data called as string data. I want to use here. String is a reference type of data. With the help of this, we can be handling strings. We saw we have primitive types like byte data, short data, integer data, long data, float data, double data, then character data, one more is Boolean data, we have them. And they are called as primitive types. Okay, and in the case of Java, numbers are neither positive nor negative. They are both. They are nothing but sign there. They are both positive and they are both negative. So like that it's going to be, you don't have any unsigned mechanism as far as Java is concerned. They are going to be always signed. That means both they are positive as well as negative. So that way we have numbers. String is nothing but here is a reference type of data. So with the help of this,
normal message call call Amazon order.
okay, so here in this we have a string class. With the help of the string class, you can here create the string variables which can be containing string data. String data is something like this: string s equal to, you can write this as 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 is also nothing but string here because we kept them in the double quotes. We kept them in the double quotes. That's why it's called as a string here. Similarly, string s equal to s1 equal to, you can write it as ABC. Whatever is coming in the double quotes, that can be called as a string. So string is what? It is not a mutable object. Mutability meaning is once you create a string object, you cannot modify. You cannot modify the string object. So, I mean, you cannot modify, but you can create a new string object. Using same reference variable, another string object can be created, but you cannot modify. So, therefore, string is what? It is a type of data. Whatever object you create with string cannot be modified. So, string data is called as here immutable data. This can be called as here immutable data. You cannot modify, but when you take a string builder or string buffer, you can modify. So that is called as mutable objects. They can be called as mutable objects, but when you look at the string, it is immutable. You cannot modify the content of the given string. So like this, here we have the string class. With the help of the string class, I create string object that also I am going to use in this. Okay. So first we input some numbers, 3 numbers we input. Then after that, we try to find result there, and I don't use an if condition. Using the question mark operator, I can do here. So using question mark operator, I'll be finding out here the pass or fail. I can find out here result as pass or fail with the help of the question mark operator in this. Okay, so we need to read data from the keyboard. For that purpose, we have to be using system.in. Here write import java.io. Java.io we put like this. So next step is what? Here I write input stream reader ISR is equal to new input stream reader followed by here system.in. So system.in is available for us here. We created an object called as dot star. When I put, this can be resolved now. Next one, buffered reader BR. This is here new buffered reader. Put like this followed by ISR I put. Okay, we created like this here buffered reader. We created 2 objects in this. One is ISR, other one is BR, just to read data from the keyboard here. So next thing we have to read now data. So we take here string, then write str name. The other one here it is string res. Res is nothing but here result. Then we declare int m1 or subject 1. Then here it is subject 2 and other one is subject 3. We make this way. We can be writing this way here. Subject 1, subject 2, subject 3. We write using the, here we define 3 variables, subject 1, subject 2, subject 3. Now we need to read data, but when you try to call br.readline, it is going to throw, it has actually written as, whenever the code is written, they marked it as throws IO exception. So that method should be written within the try catch block. Otherwise, compiler will give error for us because that is nothing but a checked exception. So here therefore put try here, then within the try we write catch, then exception ex. We handle exceptions in this. In the try block, write this system dot then out dot println. Please enter student name. Put like this. Then here write str name equal to br.readline. we put this way. Next step is what? Reading marks. Here write system dot out dot println, enter subject 1 marks. So we need to read now for subject 1. Subject 1 equal to wrapper class we use. It is called as integer we use. Integer dot parseInt. So we read again from the br, write it br dot readLine. Okay, this way we have taken the rest, we copy and paste again. Like this. Here, next step is subject 2 marks, and this is here subject 3 marks. This one is subject 3 here. On the top, this is here subject 2. Like this, we could make it. So we have total 3 subjects marks taken. We need to find the result now. For finding out result, right here press equal to, we put a condition. This one, subject 1 greater than or equal to 40. Then and here subject 2 greater than or equal to 40. And other one here it is subject 3 we use equal to 40 we take. After that we have a question mark. Then we write this as the next one here colon, put it as here fail. This way we can be setting it. This is nothing but a question mark operator. With the help of that we are evaluating the expression. Subject 1 is greater than or equal to 40 and subject 2 greater than or equal to 40 and subject 3 greater than or equal to 40. Like that we are evaluating expression. If it is returning true, we put pass, otherwise we put fail. For simple assignments we can use this, not always. When you want to print something simple, in such cases you can use, and when you want to assign simple things, you can use this conditional operator. It cannot be quite complex. You cannot put any code here. If you try to put a curly brace, then in that if you try to write code, that cannot work. For simple things, we can use this conditional operator. Okay, now let us try to print in this. System dot out dot println. Very first thing, we try to put the name. We can put here name. Write it as str name. Then this is /n plus this is subject 1. Again plus /n. Then we put again plus, this is subject 2 we write. Again this is here /n. Followed by here it is subject 3 plus we put here again /n. After that we can specify the result here. We take press. Like this we are going to display the result. With the help of this we are trying to find out here the result. We enter name, followed by for 3 subjects we enter marks. Then after that we are trying to find out result. Whether it's pass or fail, we find out like this here. Try to execute this here now. Enter student name. Put it with hash. Then subject 1 marks 56. Subject 2 99. Subject 3 it is 90. So Mitesh 56, 99, 90 pass. It is exactly result is pass in this. Printing accordingly. I enter some different marks this time. What happens? Once again see here. Enter marks. Here write it as Hitesh. Hitesh we put 10 marks, then 100 marks, then again 100 marks. It says this time fail. 10, 100, 100. It is going to be fail here. So Hitesh, 10 in first subject, 100 in second subject, one more 100 in the third subject. It's ultimately giving us result as fail here. Result is what exactly in this now? Result is going to be fail. So like this, it is working for us. With the help of the simple conditional operator, we could find whether result is pass or fail. We could find like this, whether result is pass or fail, you can find. Further division also we can find using same mechanism in this. Same mechanism we can use here. Try to put this way here. How we can write this one? Go with the division here or grade. We can mark it as grade. Grade, sorry, this is string grade we will take. We can use string grade. Okay, string grade, we just define this way here. We need to find out the grade in this. How we find grade? Using same conditional operator C. First of all, to get a distinction grade, the student should have passed in the exam, he or she, followed by, you need to have there the total marks. When it is above 240, distinction between say 180 and 240, this can be first. Between 150 and 180, that can be second. Below 180, below 150, just mere third. When the student is getting failed, in such cases, it is exactly third division. Sorry, the failed division we put there. Failed division we can put like that. So let us try to write this way. Here, grade we put grade equal to, we can put this way, grade equal to what we write first of all. This will be here, res dot compare to we take here, compare with we take this. In this we put it as pass, sorry, fail, put here fail. This contains now here what is going to be containing in such cases. This will be nil. Okay, this will be nil, else we just have empty string. This way we can be set it, but this is not comma, this should be colon. Like this we can set it. When the result is fail, then that is going to be nil, otherwise empty it is. Okay, we set in that way. The next condition can be like this, grade equal to, here we put first of all grade equal to, here you can write res dot compare to here this one pass that equal to 0. Then here we use AND condition, so we have to have subjects like subject 1 plus subject 2 plus subject 3 here greater than or equal to 240. There is a condition we use here. So in such cases we put it as distinction. We put distinction, otherwise this will be just grade only. Like this we can put it. Otherwise it can be mere grade only. Sorry, no bracket is required here. No bracket is required. So just put colon here, at the end we can remove. So what happens in such cases? Whatever grade we have, that we can get there. It's not required in this. Okay, like this we are comparing. Whenever the result is pass, then Other thing is subject 1 plus subject 2 plus subject 3 greater than or equal to 240. It can be distinction grade. Distinction, that is, otherwise it takes grade value. Similarly, again we take this, we take like this here. So here we can write this way, 180, and here it is less than 240 we use. See, using some if condition you can do it, but here I am trying to show you with conditional operator how it can be done. Try to write less than 240. Like this, in such cases, this can be first division. First you can put. Similarly, this can be now this can be second division, third division. Accordingly, you have to get in this. In the same way, try to put it. Every time it's going to be getting evaluated for us. Here we take greater than or equal to 150, and similarly less than 180, less than, this is going to be 180. We put like 150, and this is here 120 we take. Accordingly, we can write it. This is here second and this is third. Like this we have to have here. This is second, then this should be here third. Like this we can take it. This is what exactly third we have. This way we can take it. So with this we can even find the division. Then write it /n followed by grade also can be printed in this. Even we print the grade like this.
Hello?
Yes, please. So this is some Satish, we put name followed by subject marks 34, then this is 90 and other subject is 99. Like this we keep here. It says Satish 34, 90, then 99, fail and nil. We are getting the result as nil in this, because one of the subjects is containing less than 40 marks. Because of that, we get here the division as nil here. We are getting a nil division in such cases. Similarly, we try to put this time some better marks. Give it as Satish only. Followed by in this, we try to specify some 100 marks. Second one also 100 marks. Third is also try to specify 100 marks. So it should say here Satish 100, 100, 100 followed by pass and distinction. So using here the conditional operator we are trying to perform here. So we are trying to get the result as well as division. Like this we have written code. With this we can find out the result, the division. This way we are getting correctly here. When marks are greater than or equal to 40 in every subject, it's giving you pass. Then similarly, depending on the total, depending on the result, it can be giving you a distinction first, second, third, or even nil. It's giving. Whenever the student is getting failed in that, we get the division and the grade as nil. So like this is working for us. So here we have written this program. We are using relational operators as well as logical operators also in this. Logical AND operator we used. Similarly, relational operators also we have seen. So with this we could do it. This is therefore what it is, a conditional operator. With the help of that we could do it. Okay. Similarly, I want to do something related to mathematics here. This is, I enter a number like 200 I enter, or I enter 225, or I enter something like 220. When I enter 200, this number cannot be a perfect square. This cannot be a perfect square. Yes. Okay. So here, whenever you try to compare, in this, rest is nothing but a string, and this fail is also nothing but string. Whenever you compare the string with the fail, what is happening when it is containing same characters in both the source string and in the comparable string. In such cases, it can be returning 0. Okay, sometimes what happens when they are not equal, you may get less than 0 or you may get greater than 0. Further, when we discuss more about the string, at that time we can discuss, because that is related to strings. But right now, what do you think here? So rest is nothing but a string here. Compare to is a method. With the help of that, you are comparing two strings. When the both strings contain equal characters, same characters if you have in that, in such cases the value can be 0 there. So here this is fail, and the result also if it's fail, in such cases you are going to get it as 0 there. You are comparing both the strings, rest as well as fail here. So fail is a string, rest is another string. So this string you are comparing with the fail. In such cases what happens, if they are same, it can return 0. When they are not same, it may give you less than 0 or it may be giving you greater than 0. Okay, that may be giving less than 0 or greater than 0. If the first string is containing less characters and second is containing more characters, in such cases that can give you some negative value. But when the first string is containing more characters and second is containing less number of characters, in such cases that can be giving some positive value. So like that, if this string is containing here more characters and if this component is containing here few number of characters, in such cases that can be giving a positive value. Similarly, rest is containing here only few characters, whereas here string whatever you pass, if it's giving more and more characters, in such cases this can be giving negative value. But when they contain equal number of characters and when they are matching alphabetically, so in such case that can be giving you 0 value. So you can compare a string object with another string object like this. Rest dot compare to fail. The string object current right now whatever you have, you are comparing with the fail here. So if it is matching exactly, in such cases you get 0. That way we are comparing it. Compare to, we are getting like that. Okay. So here my requirement is something like this. My requirement is I enter a 200 or I enter 225 or I enter 220. When I enter 200, this is not a perfect square. How can I make it a perfect square? I need to add something to that or I have to subtract something from that. There are two possibilities. I can be adding here a 5. By adding 5, I can make it 225. Okay. Or else I can be subtracting minus 24 from that. In such cases, I can be getting 196. Result is going to be in such cases 196. So when I use 5, I am getting 225. When I use minus 24, I am getting 196. Okay, you should convert that to perfect square, but you have to use a smaller number in this always. Always there are two possibilities. Either a 5 can be added here or minus 24 can be added. Okay, but in this case, you have to use smaller number and appropriate operation you need to find out. So when I enter 200, it should say 5 is to be added. If I enter, like 200 again, it should not say minus 24 is to be subtracted. It has to say 5 is to be added. Now come to 225. 225 is a perfect square. Nothing is required in this. But when it's 220, what should happen in such cases? It has to say that here, 200. This is wrong actually. I'm sorry. 200 minus 4. This will be 196. I'm sorry. In this, this is 196. And in the case of 200, you can be adding plus 25 in this. When you take here, this is what exactly plus 25. You can do it. When you subtract 4, you get 196. Here 4 should be subtracted, not adding 25. But when it comes to 220, in such cases 5 must be added. So you get 225. But when you subtract here, whenever you subtract here minus 24, that is going to be 196. You can get this as here 196. But in the first case, 4 has to be subtracted. In the second case, 5 has to be added. Whatever number you give, automatically a smaller number should be added or subtracted. Whatever operation is actually valid operation, you should do there. In the case of 200, 4 can be subtracted. In the case of 220, you can add a 5. Okay, so in the case of 200, you cannot add 25. Similarly, for 220, you cannot be subtracting minus 24. So if you try to subtract 24, that is wrong. If you try to add 25, also wrong there. You should be subtracting 4 in the case of 200. In the case of 220, it should be adding 5. Like that, it has to work for us. It should be working in that manner. So we should write code with the help of the conditional operators only. Just by using conditional operators, we have to do it. For that purpose, let us try to write the code. Let us try to write some code. With the help of that, we can be finding it. Understood my requirement here? Are you getting my requirement, what I am saying? In the case of 220, there a 5 is to be added. In the case of 200, minus 4 should be subtracted. So that way it has to work. Using the conditional operator, we need to find out that. If condition you can use with the help of that, easily you can get. But here, using a conditional operator, you have to do it. New, this is the Java project. Here it is perfect square. Write like this, perfect square with question with conditional operator. I put like this with conditional operator. Finish. Here in this is a new project. We can add here new, this is a class perfect square. Put like this. This contains a main method. It's containing a main method. Here you should be adding the code. This is containing a main method. Here in this you should be writing the required code. Okay, on the top you write import java.io.star. Import java.io.star. So using again the input stream reader, we can be doing it. So I just copy and paste this one here. Okay, so this I write. Then in this int num, next one string operation, you put like this here. Empty string also you can set here. Similarly, int num to be used. Like this, we try to write this. Int num to be used. We are writing like this. First of all, we have to input a number. Take try. The try block, we should write it. Then again catch here, exception ex. So here we should be handling the required thing. Now come to this point, the try block. Let us try to read a number. Try to read a number from the keyboard. Here write system.out.println. Enter any number. We need to enter some number. So whether the number is a perfect square or not, we need to find out now. Here write num equal to integer dot parse int. We take like this, followed by it is br dot read line. With this we read it. Okay. Then here I require double. Write it as sqrt. One more thing is int isqrt. Like this, I define two more variables which are required very much. Okay, number I got. How to find out square root? For that purpose, we have a predefined library called as math. In that you have sqrt. Sqrt is nothing but static method. You can invoke that here. Right, sqrt equal to, here we write it as math dot followed by sqrt here. Then specify in this the number. Put it as num. We are getting square root of the number now. We are getting numbers square root. Sqrt equal to math.sqrt num we have written. So we get here the square root of the given number. Square root we are getting in this. It is nothing but sqrt. Sqrt equal to math.sqrt num. When we give, you can get the square root of it. Okay. So after that, we need to check whether it's a perfect square or not. Then how we get? For that purpose, ISQRT equal to, here I parse, typecasting I do, followed by SQRT. So this may truncate data, but what data will be truncated? If you have any fractional part that will be truncated, integral data is going to be intact. So there is no problem with this. This way what I do, I convert SQRT here into ISQRT. So only here integral part is retained and fractional part is truncated with this. Now compare here. If condition we use, if we don't use, here just write here result string result, it is string rest we put. Okay, otherwise not required there. Operation equal to, try to set this way here SQRT minus ISQRT or the equal to 0. In such cases, what we write? It is a perfect square. It's a perfect square we put, else this is going to be operation only, we put it. We take operation only in such cases. It's going to be operation only, we put in the same manner here. Okay, it's going to be operation only, we put like this. The next thing here, what we do is, we try to write like this. Operation is perfect square, we put here. Next condition, write like this. Here next one is going to be operation equal to, try to write, this one is SQRT minus ISQRT greater than or equal to 0.5. In such cases, question mark we put here. Therefore, we have to write here what is to be subtracted from this. So we take here and try to perform certain operation in this. We need to take, when it's greater than or equal to 0.5, we take it here ISQRT plus 1 multiply same with multiply same thing ISQRT, again ISQRT be required, not IS, plus 1. Then from here we should be subtracting, we should subtract from this the num, whatever num we have taken, that we need to subtract there. The num we put here, then followed by write dot toString. What's the problem in this? Question mark we have taken. Okay, toString we put here, then put plus here is to be added. Is to be added, we put like this, else this is going to be here, we put a colon here, else what we put operation as it is. Like this we can be writing it therefore. Okay, where is the problem for us? Take like this, -1 is ending here. Okay, then put this way only. Like this we can be forming string there. Similarly, take like this. Here try to use less than 0.5 and we write it greater than 0. So in such cases, we write it num minus isqrt multiplied with isqrt. Like this, you can make it is to be subtracted. We need to write like this. We are writing code. With the help of this, we can be finding a number is to be added or subtracted in such cases. Here write system dot out dot println the number. We don't put any number like this. Println here it is. We just put operation here. Message we can put just operation. So what we get, see in this here. Take the program, try to run here. Now I enter 225. It's a perfect square. It's printing for us. Similarly, run this. This time I enter 220. It should say what exactly 5 is to be added. Saying 5 is to be added here. Similarly, when we try to run, it should say for us, if I give 200, 4 is to be subtracted. It says 4 is to be subtracted. Not only with the 200, 250, it should be working with 300 also. Suppose I enter 300. What it should say, 11 is to be subtracted, has to say. Saying like that, because 289, 17 is multiplied. Similarly, I enter 310. In the case of 310, what happens? See here in this. 14 is to be added. Because 324 is nothing but 18s. You get like this. So this is the program. With the help of this, using a conditional operator, we are trying to find out. We use a conditional operator. With the help of conditional operator, we are doing it. So we read two numbers. This we haven't used. Nowhere we have used this. We can comment that. Now here, what we do exactly? We are reading the one number. That number is a perfect square or not. We are trying to find out. Look at the code and try to. If you have any doubts, please ask questions.
Sridhar, for every program we have to give this for what we are giving to read the data, like input stream reader and all.
No, only for console applications. What we are doing is console applications. So in the case of console applications, we develop GUI, graphical user interface. We have text boxes there, you can input data straight away.
Okay, when extras are there in input data, then only we have to use try and catch blocks, right?
No, try and catch block are required whenever it is a checked exception. Because if you look at the read line, in the case of read line, what it says, throws IO exception. See there. So it is expecting some kind of handling. There's a possibility of throwing errors. So errors you must be handling. It is what exactly, there's a possibility of causing some kind of runtime error. So handle it properly, it's saying there. Throws IO exception. So there can be danger of system crashing, application crashing. So handle appropriately. If you don't handle appropriately, what happens? Code cannot be compiled. When you put in the try catch block, it tries to execute this piece of code. If it can't execute, it comes to catch block and gives us appropriate message. So this is called a checked exception. Whenever you have checked exception, you can be handling it. I am putting a generic exception, but it can be different types of exceptions. Array index, out of bounds exception, file not found exception, arithmetic exception, overflow exception. Like that, you have different types of exceptions. So appropriately you should be handling, but I have taken a generic exception. So from this exception, you'll be getting all those exceptions.
Okay, so whatever errors are, the catch block will control all those.
It is going to control. Catch is going to control. Control means it gives us information and system will not crash with that. So otherwise what happens? System may crash. Crash meaning is it may not be in our control totally. So when it's not in our control, what we do? We reset. When you reset, you lose a lot of data. Suppose some unsaved data is there. These are simple applications, no problem. But when you run server-based applications, hundreds of users or thousands of users, they are accessing your system. So in such cases, if a crash takes place, what will happen? You lose a lot of data. And if it's related to financial transactions, definitely it will have a huge impact. Or it's related to telecom billing kind of thing you think. You develop some kind of solution, so whenever you make somebody a call, the call is being tracked by some kind of Java application. So if you can't track that call, what happens? How many minutes they talked, you cannot have any control. So it's going to be a huge loss for the operators.
Okay.
In fact,
And
telecom billing is really huge kind of application. Suppose you make a telephone call, whether you make from mobile or landline. In the case of mobile, when you make a call, 1,000 entries they get entered. When call is successful or failure, you may make a call. So the call related to your call, 1,000 different entries they'll be getting entered in the database in the telephone based telecommunication service based server. In that, it can contain for every call about 1,000 different entries. 1,000 information can be entered whether call is failure or successful, or you are speaking for 1 minute or 2 minutes. All the data will be entered. So servers should be really robust. If they are crashing, you lose a lot of data. So ultimately, financial impact will be on the provider of services. You saying something?
okay, okay. And under every print statement, you are giving some the praise int. Yesterday, you told that the praise int for used for whatever the int value we are given, what the system is taking, and why are you using this?
Where I'm using.
The below the print statement, each and every print statement, we are using the praise int for the
No,
read
the
line.
parseInt. It's parsing it, int. Here you don't have
Okay,
some. Here println operation. Here I'm not using. It is for inputting data. And this is what exactly enter any number. From where you enter number?
okay.
You are entering from
From
keyboard.
the
So
yeah.
whatever number is coming, that is going to be in the string format. You have to convert it to integer. For that purpose, integer dot parseInt. Everywhere I am not
But
using.
the
Only here I am using.
but we
Num
are
equal to.
okay. But in the beginning itself, we have initialized int num. So why should we
It is not
declare even
initialization.
here?
No, it's not initialization. Just I declared a variable. This num is what
Okay,
integer type of variable. It can hold integral data. But what data in that? You don't have any data in that. You have
okay.
zero.
So what?
So it is
Okay,
only
okay,
just container. It's some container you brought. You need to fill the container with something. So with the help of this, you are going to fill the container. Num equal to integer dot parseInt. When you write dr dot read line, whatever you enter from keyboard can be converted to number and can be kept in the num there. If it is successful,
oh,
the number comes into this. Otherwise, it can be coming into catch block. If you enter ABC, ABC cannot be converted to number. Therefore, it comes to catch block.
okay,
That way it works.
okay, okay,
So here,
okay.
even you can handle exception. I show that example also. Take here system dot then out dot println. Println for showing on the screen what is happening with the application. To show on the screen, we use it. Write it ex dot. Here you can say message. I try to okay ex dot print stack trace. I put here. This I am going to be printing. So what happened exactly you can know with this now. I enter here some ASR says here for input string ASR format input string unknown source. It is what number format exception. It is nothing but number
Okay.
format exception because this can't be understood. The whatever format you give can't be understood. So it's giving that's why error. Even if you enter very big number, I enter a number which is very big like this. Even this is not acceptable. Here also it is saying unknown source number is in fact too big. That number also cannot be contained within the integer. It can't convert because it cannot be fitting in the given integer range. Though it is integer, it cannot be fit in the integer. When you give smaller number, it can be accepting in such cases. So all these are nothing but exceptions, runtime errors. User may enter any data. We have to handle them appropriately.
Okay.
So I entered something like now 4567. This is fine. It says correct only. Now it says 57 is to be added to make it a perfect square. So 57 when you add, how much you get? 4,612 you get.
Yeah.
4,622, 24 we get. 4,624 we get. Whether it's perfect square or not, we see. 4,624. 4,624. We take a calculator and see with that.
Let me do.
4,624 square root we find for this. Okay. It's giving 68. So it's perfect. So this way is working for us. So this is exactly what we input number, then followed by whether that is perfect square or not. We are trying to find out, and if a number is to be added, it shows number is to be added. Otherwise, it says number is to be subtracted. So like this, it's working for us.
Okay.
This logic understanding is very important here. Whatever logic we kept here, we need to understand. This is very, very important in this.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll meet tomorrow. Already, I think for you it is too late.
Yeah.
Any questions? Anybody else has any questions, please?
No. Yes, Sridhar, can anyone upload the videos like yesterday video or today's video?
Yesterday sent, no, day for yesterday's video and yesterday's video also I have sent, I have shared with Uday.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Just shoot me an email, please. Yesterday you were typing here. I think you have my email ID. Just shoot an email to me, please. So again, I can be sending you that. I can be keeping everyone in loop.
Okay. Yeah.
Just please email, just send an email. Just mail you send to my email ID. I can be sending to everyone every day.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, we have tomorrow class.